Okay, hello guys, and in this video we're going to finish with the table, and well, you will notice that the only thing we're missing is this decoration where which are two giraffes. This is what we are going to be creating. You will notice that this is just a duplicate of this one, and scale and rotate it. Yeah, this is going to be the result. Just as with the coffee cup, what I did is I downloaded a reference, and I start modeling from that reference. Of course, this is not big deal, something very quickly. We're going to start right now. Okay, this is the result of the last video. I just moved these things, by the way, make them match by touching the table. I guess I'm doing it. Oh, just a little more. But yeah, it's not big deal. Okay, let's start with the giraffe. We're going to start creating this in a new layer. Okay, and with a cube we're going to start creating a cube. By the way, we're going to be using mirror for a long while. You will notice that I'm scaling this out of edit mode. As I told you, right, that really doesn't, it's not a big problem. All you have to do is apply rotation scale, apply scale. Okay, now I'm going to scale this even more, just like this, and I'm not going to be working with all that stuff here because when I move to this view I won't be able to see. Let's work with this object. Okay, we have to start creating the base mesh, which is going to be like this, and with two lap cuts. Okay, we're going to be using mirror as I told you. So let's delete these faces, guys, and well, I don't like that middle point of pivot point. I'm going to be using the cursor. We are going to be using the cursor. I'm going to play with rotation and scale and add a mirror in y-axis with clipping. Okay, you know what? Let's wait with clipping because we have to create the legs or whatever of the giraffe, and if you do this with clipping you can see the difference. So we should do it without clipping, but once you have finished with this you should be enable clipping. Okay, well, this is going to be the back. So okay, I think this is like too much for the x-axis, but I'm going to wait, keep working, and then if I feel that it's not working, I'm going to modify it. We're going to be using mirror, as I told you. We're going to be using subdivision surface, and that's all the modifiers we're going to be using. Oh, my fault. What is this? Yeah, my fault, guys. Okay, now nothing happened. Let's keep working. Okay. You know what? I'm going to move this even more. Okay. I'm going to extrude this again. Move it. Scale. You can. And this is going to be decoration word, as I told you. And we're not going to be rating the giraffes or something like that. So we're not going to be working this with a recipe. That's making sense, if that is a word. Yeah, we're going to be working this like something that you could change if you want, because it's necessary that it's not necessary that you do this just as I'm doing it. You could change this in a few things, in a few ways. For example, of course, when you see the object, you have to know that that you have a giraffe. You cannot change that. Okay, this is looking really my fault again. Okay. Not gonna happen again, guys. Sorry. Now, okay, I was really close to told you that this giraffe is looking horrible. Really, it's looking really bad. I know. But we're going to be modifying this, tweaking, and you will notice that we are going to get the shape before we add subdivision surface. We don't want to be creating things with subdivision surface. That's not the way to do it. Yeah. Okay. I know this is looking really bad. Just give me a chance, and this is going to be looking better. Remember, this is the basic shape. Okay. So okay. This is looking really bad, guys. Hold on. I'm going to scale this. This is going to be the thinner point. Okay, this is going to be the face. Okay, we're not going to be working with y-axis yet, even when I know that it's looking really bad. I know. We're going to be working with that later. I'm going to enable a screencast for you if, I don't know, you need something. Okay, what I see is I see that the torso is like it's like really big, and I want this part to be larger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select these faces or vertex, and from cursor I'm going to scaling in Z-axis, and I'm going to select cursor, and I'm going to scale this in Z-axis and rotate it. Okay, and well, now it's looking better, but it is still to be. We have to work with this for a while yet. Okay, let me see. We're going to scale this in y-axis. Okay, first the neck, the giant neck of a giraffe. Okay, you know what? I can just move it in, and that's it. Well, for now, we're going to let it just like it is. Okay. Well, we're going to be pushing this vertex out because we're going to get a soft shape when we do this, because as I told you, we're going to be using subdivision surface. Okay, um, and that's how we want this to be looking like. By the way, there are a lot of things that you should be um, that you should know before start creating these things. Of course, this is not the way to create a realistic giraffe. Okay, this is not going to be with an armature or something like that. So if you want to create a giraffe, well, um, for a realistic or not decoration giraffe, this is not the way to do it. Well, maybe this could be the basic shape, but um, it's like years away. It's like really far from how to create a giraffe in a realistic way. Okay, now I'm going to move these few things, not too much. For example, this loop, we're going to scale it in y-axis like that. Oh, like that. And let me see, I want to push this vertex out. Okay, we are not so far, guys, but before using subdivision surface and all that stuff, I want a larger neck, you know, because it's really important that people know that this is a giraffe, and with a larger neck, people is going to see, oh, that's a giraffe. For example, maybe I'm going to add another lap. I'm going to move this just a little, scale it, and this is not natural, maybe, but there is no problem with that because, as I told you, this is not going to be something realistic. But even with that, I think this is looking not that far from if you're going to create a real giraffe. Maybe this could be the basic shape to start creating it. I don't know. I have never created a giraffe. A realistic, I mean. Of course I did this before. I'm going to tell you guys the website where I found the giraffe, the original one, which is 3D Archive. Okay, I found the decoration there, and well, you will not find a blend file. You won't find a blend file in that website because it's not for Blender. And what I do with that website, usually I download. Let's add another lab code here, and we add some curve to this. I usually download an object from that website, and what I like to do is I do it again. Well, I do the file, the object, and you will find really good or high quality models in that website. So I'm going to scale the head, you know, it's like big, I think. I was telling you that, yeah, I like to see those kind of models, and then just I do it by my own. Of course, if you don't have time or something, you can just use them. But I really like to find a way to create the model. Okay, this is looking kind of weird. Let me see if I can fix this. Too much, huh? Okay, maybe like this. We will see how it is going to be looking like with the subdivision, but I think it's fine. Okay, now we're losing something here. We have to extrude this in a scale to add just some detail to the giraffe. Okay, now I'm going to scale this in x-axis. Scale. Clipping is making me Okay, you will notice that this is maybe not the best way to do it. I don't know, maybe inset could be working, but here we are. Maybe with normal or with orientation. Let's see. Scaling X, normal axis. Well, that's too much. Maybe like this, and you Y normal axis like that. Uh, I really like normal with orientation. I mean, okay, not working. Extrude. And what is that? Maybe it's just, what is that? I mean, really? Ah, it's merged. Whoa, that's so close. Unbelievable. There it is. It's looking good. Oh, it's too small. I think it's too small. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Well, we have to create a tail um, and move some vertex, but we have a shape, a basic shape of how this should be looking like. What I want to do is I'm going to scale. Of course, I cannot scale them. Okay, now that's kind of the shape we want to get. I'm going to move this vertex just a little. We can be using global again. As I told you, we're going to be applying a mirror. Okay. Let me see. I'm not happy at all with this part. Maybe if I scale this even more. And let me see. Just I want to have um, like movement here. And again, I'm going to scale this in Z-axis and make them longer. Scale in Z-axis. Okay, I like the way it's looking now. Well, you could spend a lot of time tweaking this, but of course you are not going to learn anything if you watch a video where I'm tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. So maybe I could be tweaking this object later. Okay, one last time. Well, so I'm going to tell you guys that we are going to create the tail once we have applied the mirror. So now what we need to do is we have a shape, okay? And we have a giraffe shape. Oh, maybe this is too much. Okay, too much. And we are going to be using subdivision surface. I'm going to use the shortcut, which is Ctrl 2. And this is looking good, but there are things we should be tweaking. That's the word. And as I told you, you won't be learning if you watch me tweaking a whole video. So for example, we need a larger head, and maybe we're going to be working with this because I found them like really small. If you want to work with this, it's a really good choice. I feel comfortable with it. And yeah, I'm going to scale ahead again, rotate. But maybe I'm just not going to be using this option right now. Okay guys, honestly I could spend some time tweaking this object. For example, the legs. Ooh, they need some tweaking. Of course I need them. But maybe what we could do is I will tweak this object out of video, and then as usual you can download the file. Where you can download the file, remember you can download this from BlendSwap with Maple Studios, the Maple Studios user. Okay, Well, just give me a chance, and we will continue. Well, yeah, you could you can say that this is a giraffe, and for example, check this out. This is the giraffe we're creating now, and this is the result. Okay, you see, for example, I have to work with few things. For example, here and with this could be looking better. Okay, so I'm going to be tweaking that out of video right now. What I'm going to do is really quickly scale this. You can notice the things you have to. Okay, for example, I don't like the place they are. I would like to have this like there and scale it again. Okay, maybe like that. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with tail and all those stuff. I want to show you the next step, but I found things that I need to tweak. Okay, no more. Now, I'm going to apply mirror. Just for check. Something I usually do. I try to remove those, and if I find something, it means that maybe you have a problem. Okay, to create a tail, let's see if I have two insets active. What happened there? Hey, this is weird. Okay, I'm going to be using the inset that is with the I. And hey, you know, I could be using circle with this. And just checking. We're going to create a tail from this, but I have to scale it. Extrude, scaling. Okay. Now I'm going to do this without the subdivision surface. And I'm going to be using the cursor here, and using the pivot, using it as a pivot. Okay, rotating, extruding. Okay, as I told you guys, I will be tweaking this. And out of video, that will be out of video. But this is basic. This is basically how we can create it. You know what? I'm going to scale this. Okay, let me see. Okay, now. Well, yeah, this is a giraffe, but you have to work with these few things. Remember, this is going to be decoration where we're not going to be rigging this or something. Okay, guys, just checking. Of course, I know this needs some tweaking, but we're going to finish this tutorial just in a second. For example, first this should be matching. It's really important. We're going to be using the pivot point of the object. Oh yeah, there. I was thinking about the mirror. Now, as I told you, this is year of 1. I was going to duplicate this in x-axis, and then, well, you can rotate this if you want. Okay, I was thinking that we will be scaling this, moving it. Okay, before I do that, there is something I have to show you. Okay, we have all because of the mirror, this side is just the same that side. So from cursor, I'm going to rotate this and same with this front cursor. Yeah, we will be working with some few things. with this second giraffe, if you want, only if you want, it's not necessary, you could modify it few things to don't make it look to be different from this. But honestly guys, it's not going to be necessary, just as practice, and you feel, for example, in this case it's not necessary to change, but in most cases if you duplicate something and use it in the same scene, you will have to change it usually, really, because mostly I want to see how it's looking like. Yeah, usually you will need to change them because the people who is looking the scene, they should know, they shouldn't notice that it's a duplicated object. In this case they won't. That's why I'm telling you that it's not necessary. I'm going to use the cursor here and rotating this, you will see. Yeah, people shouldn't notice that you have duplicated the object, and I'm telling you this scene they won't, because, well, maybe we're going to be using this even in different colors and all that stuff. But when this is a scale, they are going to be, you know what, I'm going to move this in here again, cursor to selected. Yeah, they are going to be, which is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they are going to be doing this like it's like hugging, I guess. Yeah, that's the word I mean. This is like a hug with the neck, which is something people are going to be focused with this, and yeah, people won't notice that are the same giraffe with all, mostly because there are a lot of things happening in this scene, and if they watch the giraffes, they are going to focus probably mostly in the hug, because it's like, oh man, they are two giraffes. And they are creating a hug with the neck, but you know what? This is not looking like a hug yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create this more obvious. Okay, front cursor, I'm going to move this in y-axis and rotate it. Rotate it. For example, if I rotate this, the head, too much, for example, with the little boy, the baby giraffe, which by the way I'm going to name. is going to be looking more like a hug. So yeah, well guys, this is the tutorial. Maybe or maybe not, we have to change few things here. For example, they should be matching when touching the table, the legs. But as I told you, that's just tweaking. We have successfully created a really quick and, well, not so quick, well, yeah, it's quick, decoration wear of Giraffe. And I think we won't even need to create seams later and all that stuff, because of the shaders probably we're going to be using with this Giraffe. When I mean later, I mean I don't know how much time about a tutorial of rendering this is in. But yeah, you will notice that this is pretty much as in the final result. We have created a table with a lot of things, books, the coffee, the giraffes, and I hope you really tweak few things here. For example, you can move this to the right and this to the left. I don't know. Okay, really hope you enjoyed this, guys, and yeah, we're really close to finish these videos. Hope to see you in the next video, guys. Yeah, that's it.